With his intuitive mentoring and strategies that help businesses succeed, Mark Howard trains business owners to be successful. If you want to grow your business fast, then keep listening. If you want to grow it even faster, in less than 3 months, then visit www.markhoward.coach. And now, here is your host, Mark Howard, digital business mentor, author, and psychic medium.
G'day, this is Mark Howard, and in this podcast I'm going to ask a very simple question. Have you ever wondered why people click on certain search results when they're using systems such as Google or Google Maps? There's a very good reason why they'll click on some and not other search results, and it all begins with you being just a little bit descriptive.
If you're enjoying Mark's podcasts, then why not share this episode with your friends and family on social media, so they can also get access to great business marketing gold content.
Now, if like me, you go onto Google and other systems and you're doing search results for a particular product or service, and you get this whole list of search results come up, and then it's deciding which one to click on. Now, you might think, oh, I'll start from the top and work my way down. Actually, it isn't the case. You're actually drawn to whatever's in the meta description and the meta title. So those meta titles, that's what appears in the search results. So the title's normally in blue if you're on Google, and then you have about a 50 to 60 character short description underneath that, and then there'll be a hyperlink to that particular page or to that website. That's what we're talking about here. And if you can actually get that working right for you, not just on Google, but with things like Google My Business, you can actually increase your click-through rates. And a lot of people fall down on this. So what you tend to find, especially when people are doing this themselves, they go through and they leave it to the standard things like About Us. No one's going to click on something that says About Us, for example. That's a very poor example of what people will click on. So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to get the right plugin. And that's what I'm going to talk about here is the right SEO plugin for WordPress. I'm talking WordPress now. The thing is, with a lot of plugins at the moment, a lot of people go out and they go by what they think is the best. And you'll find a lot of companies at the moment for SEO will use something called Yoast. Now, Yoast isn't, in my opinion, the best plugin out there, and is actually becoming the plugin not to go to at the moment. Okay, the reason is Yoast is actually quite a buggy and it's quite bloated as a system. A lot of agencies will use it because it's simple to use, but it's actually not as intuitive as you want it to be. And there's a lot better systems out there that are just as free and actually more intuitive, less bloated, and actually give you a better result than Yoast does. Now, the one I tend to draw people towards is a system called Rankmath. I'm not associated with that company at all. I don't get any money from them, nothing at all. It's just one I happen to use quite a lot on all my sites, and it's one I recommend my customers to use because it's intuitive. It works with systems such as Elementor and pretty much every single theme that's out there as well. And it's very easy because you can visually see what's going on when you're writing out your meta titles and your meta tags. So you can actually see what's going on before you actually put it out. And also they use focus pages as well. Now, I'm not going to go into focus pages in this. I'm not going to talk about focus pages. That's something completely different and is a podcast in its own right. What we're going to focus on today, just for you guys, is the meta description and the meta title. What makes people click on it? And what you're going to do is look at what makes you click on a particular title, what really, really works. So let me tell you a very quick story of something that happened to me last week, and this was actually on Google Maps. So there's this bit of a fallacy that goes on where people turn around and say, well, I want to get the first page Google and I want to get to number one. The trouble is everybody's vying for number one on Google. We know that. And there's only 12 available spots. Google Maps is a great way to get to the top of the search engines very quickly and very easily without doing too much SEO work. But of course, that's a system that rotates round, and if you're not sure how Google Maps works, please do give me a shout, and I'll take you into a lot more detail how they work. They're not as straightforward as a lot of people think. But to get started is a great way to do it. So here's my story. This is what happened to me. So last week, my guitar wasn't playing too well. It sounded like the E string had actually gone, and that it needed a new string. Now, I'm not proficient enough to change the string, but it wasn't sounding right. It's got a bit of a buzzing noise. Now, the string wasn't broken per se, so now I'm thinking to myself that maybe there's something a little bit more wrong with the guitar than just the string going. So now I need to look up a musician's shop or someone that can actually help me out. So what I did is I went on to Google and typed in music shops near me, because that's what most people tend to do these days. They if they're in a particular location, then type in near me, and Google Maps will pick that up quite quickly. I could have easily gone down the listings on the first and second page, and I tend to go to the third page these days as well, because you get some very good results coming through on the third page. But I happened to go through it, and there was one company in Bognor Regis, Mike's Music, that caught my eye. Now, the reason it caught my eye is because what he put on his meta description and his title. And what he had put was something along the lines of, music shop, we sell, repair and service musical instruments. So straight away, he's hitting me for what I need. I need someone to look at my guitar and service the guitar, because there's obviously something wrong that needs to be done. Now, he's only 10 minutes away from where I'm living at the time, so it's perfect for me to go down there and get this sorted out. So I went onto his website, and to be fair, if Mike's listening to this, I'm sure he already knows, he's produced a website himself. It's not the greatest website in the world. It wasn't enticing me to actually buy from him. The site was pretty much out of date. There was a lot wrong with it, but his advert or his meta title on the search results, not an advert, his meta title on his search results was enough to capture me to actually give him a call. So I was ready to buy from this guy. He's 10 minutes away, sounded ideal. So I phoned him up and said, look, I've got this problem with my guitar. He said, look, just bring it in and we'll have a look. Brought it in, sure enough, the guitar needed a complete service, and it did need some new strings, it needed a new bridge and pins, etc., etc. So he'd done a full service on the guitar. So he made from me, just on the service on the guitar, I think it was around about 45, actually no, it's £65 he made from me on that. So that's from one one search result. He's made £65 for me. And whilst I there, decided, look, actually I need a case of the guitar as well. So that's another £45. So he'd actually got from me £110 just for me searching for music shops near me on Google. But his meta title was enough to entice me through. So just by doing that right now, I don't know if he's done it by mistake or he's had some advice on that, but it doesn't matter. He got me through. And this is what I come into when you go to your website. When you look at these descriptions, when you look at these titles, are you missing out on a trick? Now, what a lot of people do is they just leave it at the default, like home, about us, that type of thing. It really doesn't help. So, for example, a plumbing company, if they just put up ABC Plumbers about us, it's not really going to entice people to come through. But if they put up ABC Plumbers 24-hour plumbing, and then put their phone number on there in the header, in the headline, the main part before the description, that's going to entice people to actually call them before they've even gone through to the website. And if they put in the description, we have a 24-hour emergency call out, this is our contact details, etc., etc., that again is just going to emphasize what the headline has said. So it's getting that headline and that meta description correct from day one. The important thing about all of this, though, is when you're doing this work, is you've got to make sure that the description takes the person on a journey. So what you've got to do is you've got to get them to reflect the content. The content has to reflect where the person's going to be taken to. So there's no point about selling something or promising something on the meta description and taking them to something completely different, because that's going to turn people off. They're looking, and there's only a certain number of clicks that person will want to make before they get bored and search for something else. This is the new thing I've noticed quite a lot now. So somebody will search for a particular product or phrase, and then they will look down the system, and if they don't find it within the first couple of pages, they'll change their search results phrase to try and get closer to what they're looking for. And the reason why they do that is because they're not finding the right hit on the description and their meta titles. It's worth pointing out, though, as I said, if you're not getting this right, if you're getting the headlines wrong, if you get in the description wrong, you're missing out on a trick. As I said earlier on, Rankmath is a great way for you to visualize it, sit back and see exactly how Google would display it when it comes up in the search results, when you come up on the search results. So make sure that the headline is right. That's the first thing I'm going to say to you. Have an enticing headline. Use something like Jasper.ai. They're great at doing headlines, for example. Again, I'm not affiliated with that company, but you look at them, they give you some great headlines that you can use, and you can even do the description as well, the meta description on there. We're not even talking about tags at the moment, we're not even talking about the SEO side, I'm just talking purely about getting the things right. The other thing you've got to look at is you've got to be unique. You really have to be a standout, and this really can't be emphasised enough. You need to take the time to create unique title tags and meta descriptions. And it's one of the best ways that business owner can encourage people to click on the website during the search results. If you're not unique, if you're just lost within the woods or the jungle of everybody else, then you're going to see, well, I've got a problem here. So one of the things you can do is on your search results and see where you are on the search results. Just see what your competitors are doing. See those ones that are number one and those that are on the first, second and third page. Just see what their descriptions are. See what their meta titles are. And see which ones you're drawn to. Because there's going to be ones you're actually drawn to. It's your competitors. You're going to see that and go, wow, that's really great. Why are you drawn to that particular meta title? So what I've done is I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. So what I've done is in the search results, I searched this for plumbers near me. We're down at Arundel at the moment, just to kind of see what comes up. And again, some of the things that come up are not particularly good, but some of the things are really, really good. So have a look at this one. This one says, Hans 24/7 emergency plumbers, super fast 1 hour response. Straight away you feel, wow, these people are going to get in touch with me as soon as they see that. This says 5-star reviews, emergency plumbers in Hampshire, same day repairs, a standard, call now. The next one underneath that says no call out charge, same day service. Plumbers in Arundel, no call out charge is the third one. So you can see that these people really have thought a little bit about their meta titles before they've even gone on. Another one at the top here says 24/7 plumbing and heating. Another one says emergency plumbing, plumbers, heating engineers. So now this is a company, all it just says plumbing and heating engineers, 3 years in business. That's not really going to entice me. I'm looking at someone's going to come out on a 24-hour service, maybe no call-out fee. That's the type of thing I'm going to be looking on here. So what I'm going to do is I'll see if I can find some other examples for you on this. So in this example, I've just searched for pubs near me that serve food. Why not? It's Sunday afternoon. Why not? Let's find some pubs near me that serve food. There's a couple again on here. You got the Holly Tree, which is just down the road. They've got nothing on it. It literally says the Holly Tree, that is it. The Spur Country Pub Restaurant, that's all it says, doesn't tell me anything else. And the Black Horse, there's nothing at all to entice me to go down there. But if I go down, it's a little bit too far away, but I know the pub. It says the Duke's Head Pub and Restaurant in Crawley Down. So I know where it is because it tells me. And the description says the Duke's Head is a premium pub, bar and restaurant with its very own courtyard, centrally located in the heart of the picturesque town of Crawley Down. So that's one I'm thinking, well, okay, maybe that's a bit too far for me. That could be one I could be looking at. The Froxhole Farm Pub in Crawley. So again, it's telling me where it is, give me an idea. Serving up quality pub food in warm and welcoming surroundings just off the M23. The local pub near you is a great place to eat and drink. So these are just examples of things that you can be doing. I like this one as well. Goff's Manor, a country pub on the edge of Crawley. The perfect example of a proper country pub at the heart of its community with a beautiful garden, quality ales and British dishes. What I'm trying to get across here is if you can get your meta titles, your meta descriptions right at the beginning before you do anything else, when you create your pages and get this particular bit right, trust me, your click-through rates will go through the roof. It doesn't matter where you are on Google at this time, it'll go through the roof. It's worth trying it out. So if you want to try something out, do some A/B split testing, have different pages that have similar content on it and slightly different meta tags and meta descriptions to see what's best for you. Of course, if you use SEO companies, use SEO services such as my company, then we'll do that all for you. We do the research. But if you haven't got that facility, give me a shout and we can certainly point you in the right direction as well. If you love listening to these podcasts, by the way, please, 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 as always, let other people hear about these wonderful golden nuggets of marketing, pure gold. Share, like, and add in description as well. Add into your comments. Let me know your thoughts. What's the best meta descriptions you've come across? What are the worst ones you've come across? I'd love to know those as well. And tell me how you've achieved your click-through rates, how they've increased just by changing the descriptions on your website.